Hello guys and welcome back to this amazing channel. This is Abhinav. So today in this particular video we'll discuss about the weekly contest 407 of Leetcode. It is actually a easy contest, I will say. All the four questions, but I will not say like of a very high level, but yeah, of medium level. I will say the first two questions were very easy and the second two questions were of a little on the medium level, but none of them were very higher. None of them contains very advanced data structures like DP or graph or anything else, right? So let's discuss all the four problems one by one. So the very first problem is number of bit changes to make two integers equal, right? So this was a little, a basic problem only. The problem says that you are having two numbers, and what you can do that on that number n, on that binary representation of that number n, you can change any bit which is currently 1, you can change it to 0. तो कोई भी bit जो 1 है अभी in n, you can change it to 0. And by doing that you have to change the number n into k. Let me give you an example. For example, let's take what they have given. They have given n is 13 and k is 4. Okay, so if you will see the binary representation of 13, it will be 8, then remaining is 5. It will be like this. This is the binary representation of 13. And if you will see the binary representation of 4, it will be 0 1 0 0. Okay, so basically what we can do, so if the bit is same in both n and k, it's fine. For example, here you can see the bit of n is equal to bit of k. For these both the bits, they are same. But the problem arises when they are not equal, because if bits are not equal, the number are also not equal, and you have to make both the numbers equal. And for making them equal, what we can do, we can change a bit of n from 1 to 0. And the main thing is we can only change from 1 to 0. We cannot change from 0 to 1. So if there is any bit which is set in n but which is not set in k, like this and this, so what we can do, we can actually set it to 0, like how we are doing here, and we will get the answer. And how many operations are needed? Two operations are needed. 2 is the answer. But guys, in some case the problem will like the solution is not possible. Let me give you an example on that. Let's say that your n is 12 and your k is 5. So when this is the case, your n will be 1 1 0 0 and k will be 0 1 0 1. In this case, what you can see is, okay, these both the bits are already equal, and this you can make 0 because it's a 1 and n, k is 0, so you can make n also 0. But here you can see bit at n is 0 but bit at k is 1, and you can actually not change this 0 to 1. That is not allowed. So in this case, answer you will say is -1, which is not possible, right? So what we are doing in this particular case, first of all, I'm checking for all the bits. So I'm having a loop from 0 to 50, from 49. Like I'm assuming that the number will contain 50 bits at max. It's at 10 to the power 6. Even it will not contain 50 bits. It will be something around, I think, 35 or something. I'm not sure. 35 to 40 bits. But yeah, I'm taking the max 50. कोई problem नहीं है उसमें. And now for every bit, what I'm doing is, first of all, I'm checking that what the current bit of n and k. If they are not, see, if they are equal, then it's fine. If n mod 2 and k mod 2 are already equal, then there is no problem. But if they are not equal, then we will see, okay, if they are not equal, then there can be one case. If they are not equal and the bit of n is 1, then we can make it to 0 and we will increase the answer. So if the bit of n is 1, then we will increase the answer. But if bit of n is not 1, means bit of n is 0. But because they are not equal, bit of k must be 1. Means this case is basically when bit of k is 1. So if bit of k is 1 and n is 0, you cannot change that 0 to 1. So in this case, answer will be -1. And then if this test is passed, it will move to the next test case, and for that you will divide both the numbers by 2, because you are checking all the bits one by one, right? So this is what is actually happening here. It's a very basic code that we have written. Time complexity, if you will see, will be I will say a constant time complexity, because we are just using a loop of 50 and we are just dividing, right? So time complexity is also order of 1, and space complexity is also order of 1. Both TC and SC are same, right? Amazing. Great, guys. Now moving forward to the next question, which is vowels game in a string. What this problem says, that in this problem they are saying that there's a string S and there are two persons, Alice and Bob, as usual. Now what they can do, in one turn, Alice can choose a non-empty substring of odd number of vowels, and Bob can choose a non-empty substring of even number of vowels. ठीक है? And they will play this turn by turn. So first Alice will play. So Alice will choose a odd number of vowel substring. Then Bob will play, and so on. At the last, if no one, any of them cannot play any chance, cannot make a move, they will lose. So you have to true if Alice wins the game and false otherwise. So guys, in this case, this problem is little, a very tricky one. Here, always Alice will win, apart from only one case. Otherwise, always Alice will win. How? See. So what they are saying that ki Alice will have to choose a substring with odd vowels. Okay. And Bob has to choose a substring with even vowel. Okay. Up see guys. For example, I have this string. I have this string like this. In this string, you will see we have odd number of vowels. We have odd number of vowels. So a string which will have initially odd number of vowel, in that string always Alice will win. How? You will say Abhinav, how? See, if there is a string which contains odd number of vowel, Alice will take that whole string at once and will remove it. Alice क्या कर रहा है? Alice remove any non-empty substring which contain odd number of vowels. So if the whole string which is given to you, if that whole string contains odd number of vowel, Alice will take the whole string and will remove it. And then Bob cannot play any chance. So in this case, Alice will win. The case when the original string has odd number of vowel, Alice will always win. But we will say, okay, Abhinav, but in even number, what will happen? In even number, Bob should win? No. Even number also Alice will win. How? For example, now let's take this. Here you can see there are even number of vowels. A, E. So these are 4 vowels. Here there were 3 vowels, right? Here there are even number of vowels. Now, even for the even number of vowels, what is happening is, okay, Alice has to take odd vowels. Now, so what Alice will do? Alice will not take all the vowels from here. Alice will take n minus 1 vowel. For example, here there are even number of vowels, and let's say there are n vowels, right? Where n is 4 in this case. तो पूरे even vowels नहीं लेगा because he cannot take even vowel substring. He will take a substring, or C, I think Alice is a girl. So C will take a substring which will contain odd number of vowels, which is one less. So what C will do? C will just exclude one vowel, a single vowel. For example, C will exclude this much part, and C will take this much as its case. So जब वो इतनी सब string लेगी, this will get removed, and remaining, see, if there were n vowels and C has taken n minus 1 vowel, so obviously at the last again only one vowel will be remaining, which is again an odd vowel. So again Bob cannot play the chance. Are you getting? So if let's say if there are odd number of vowels initially in the string, Alice will take the whole string. If there are even number of vowels initially in the string, Alice will take the whole string apart from one vowel. So eventually he will take n minus 1 string which contain odd number of vowel. But remaining one vowel Bob cannot take because Bob has to always take even number of vowel, right? So in this case also Alice will win. But Alice will not win only in one case, when there is no vowels present. Let's say if initially the string is like this, not A, let's say B, C, D. So in this string there is no vowel. So if there is no vowel, then even Alice cannot start with a chance. In that case only Bob will win and Alice will not win. So what I've done in the solution, I'm seeing that if in the string there is any vowel, so if there is a single vowel is present, even a single vowel is present, always Alice wins. Because we know, if there is a vowel present, Alice always wins. But if there is no vowel present in the whole string, then I will say that Bob wins. Right? So guys, this is how we are actually solving this particular problem. Right? This is how we are actually solving this particular problem of Alice and Bob, which was I guess just a observation based problem, right? Not a very complex one. I hope that you guys understand, right? Moving forward to the next problem, which is maximum number of operations to move ones to the end. This is again a problem of I will say just some implementation. Okay, problem says that you are having a binary string, and what you can do in one operation, you can choose a one, and you have to shift the one. You have to shift that one to the right hand side until you reach the end, or until you get another one. Let me give you an example. For example, हमारा कुछ string इस तरीके से है. Let's say it is like this, okay? So in this, what can actually happen is कि we have 1 0 0 1 1 0 1. So this one is already at the end, okay? Now let's see you choose for this one. So when you will choose for this one, it will always go to the next one here. It will go to here. Let's say we will choose for this one, it will go to here. And by doing this, you have to make all the ones at the end. But they are saying that you have to do this with the maximum number of operations. अब देखो what is maximum number of operations? There will be one minimum number of operations also. Minimum कैसे होगा? Simple is, this is already there. You will move it there, so it will become like this. This gone here. Then you will move here. It will become this, and then you will simply move it here. It will be very easy. That one by one you are moving all of them. It will just require first, second, and 3 operation. But these number of operations can be increased also. Like here the answer is 4. How? Dekho. What we can do, instead of moving them first, we will first move this. So when we will move this, it will not actually reach the end. It will reach in between somewhere. So it will reach here. One operation. Then I will move this. 2 operation. Then I will move this. 3 operation. Then finally I will move that. 4 operation. So in this case, we are having 4 operations, which is more better. Right? Makes sense now. So this is how, guys, we actually, do this part here, where we have to move the ones. So which is better? The better is that don't move the later ones first. तो पहले इसको मूव कर लो, सो दैट ये यहाँ पे आके अटक जाए. फिर जब वो वाले मूव करें तो वो भी इसमें भी उसका भी काउंट ऐड हो जाए. राइट? तो देखो हम इसको सॉल्व कैसे करेंगे, गाइस. द मेन एजेंडा इज दैट इफ दीज वंस विल टेक 1 टू मूव, दिस विल ऑल्सो टेक दैट वन ऑल्सो, क्योंकि ये यहाँ पे आके अटक जाएगा तो ये वाला वन खुद भी वो नंबर ऑफ ऑपरेशंस को करेगा सफर. राइट? तो आई एम टेकिंग अ करंट इक्वल टू 0 कि भाई करेंटली कितने मूव्स हो चुके हैं, एंड आई विल टेक माई आंसर. अब इनिशियली यू कैन सी आई हैव ऑल्सो टेकन अ ओके. ओके बेसिकली सेज दैट, ओके बेसिकली टेल्स दैट कि क्या जो वंस है वो एडजेसेंट है और देयर इज अ 0 इन बिटवीन. तो इट विल से कि ओके, डिड वी गॉट अ 0? इज देयर अ 0 इन द पाथ? आई विल टेल यू व्हाट. ओके, आई विल टेल यू व्हाट. मतलब बेसिकली क्या जो वंस थे उनके बीच में कुछ 0 आया है, because if there is 0 in between the ones, then only we will move na. So initially I am saying okay true. Okay true means that there was no 0. There was no 0. ठीक है? तो अब देखो हमारा okay अभी true है. अब what I am doing? So this is the indexing. I am going from the back. Okay, I am going from the back. अब when I am going from the back, when we got a 1 मतलब हमें पता करना है कि इसके पहले कितनी बार 0 आ चुके हैं, because the number of times 0 will come before them, उतनी बार इसको मूव करना पड़ेगा. नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स 0 विल कम बिफोर इट, उतने नंबर ऑफ टाइम यू हैव टू मूव. एंड करंट विल एक्चुअली स्टोर द नंबर ऑफ जीरोस बिफोर देम, नॉट नंबर ऑफ जीरोस बट नंबर ऑफ जीरोस ग्रुप. कितने ग्रुप्स हैं? जैसे इसके पहले 2 0 के ग्रुप्स हैं तो ये 2 बार मूव करेगा. राइट? इट विल मूव 2 टाइम्स. सो व्हाट आई विल डू, क्या विल करंट विल स्टोर नंबर ऑफ ग्रुप्स ऑफ जीरोस बिफोर इट, एंड ओके विल से ओके इफ देयर इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ 0 और नॉट. सो फॉर एग्जांपल currently okay is true. So currently okay is true means अभी इसके पहले कोई 0 नहीं मिला था, and the current number is also 1. So whenever current number is 1, I will add in my answer plus equal to current. मतलब जो भी इसके पहले 0 आए थे, whatever number of zeros were present before it, added in the answer. So in the answer, this 0 will be added and the answer will remain 0, because for this one, no number of operations required to make the end. It is already at the end because there is no number of zeros before it. And I will again make my okay true. Okay true means that only. Okay true simply means that there was no 0. Now we got a 1. Now we got a 0. So when we got a 0, when our okay is currently true, and when we got a 0, means we got a new group of 0. So when I got a new group of 0, I will increase my current to 1 and I will make my okay false. ठीक है? अब now we got a 1 again. So when we got a 1, what I will do? I will add my number of current here. and again make my okay true. Again we got a 1, so again I will add my current in the answer, and it will be remaining true only. Now we got a 0. So when we got a 0, तो देखो आप देखो, for these two number of operation was 1 because current was 1 and there was just one 0 का group. So this 1 and 1 added 2. Now for this one there are two groups of 2, and how it will be done, see, we got another 0, we got another 0. So what I will do, for this another 0, I will come here, I will increase my current, and I will make again my okay false. Cool. Up now here's the important part. Now when I get another 0, one more 0. So you will say, Abhinav, one more current should be increased. But no, no, no. This should, because I have to count the group of 0 na. Because इस 0 के लिए तो उसको एक ही ऑपरेशन लेगा. It will not be two different operations, right? So what I will actually do is, that is why I am using this OK. Because this current will be increased when OK is true. But because when we got a 1 0, OK became false. Now it will again become true when there is a 1. So means one group will be considered only 1. So abhi OK false hai. So this 0 current will not be increased. And now finally we got a one more 1. So that 2 will be added in the answer. It will become 4 and my OK will again become true. Finally your answer will be 4. Right? So this is how, guys, we are actually solving this particular problem. This is actually again a observation based plus implementation based problem. I hope that you got the understanding. Time complexity we will see. For this again time complexity was order of n. Space complexity was nothing. And for this code also the time complexity is order of n and space complexity is nothing. Okay. So that is the time and space complexity. Moving to the last problem, guys, the last and the very fourth problem of this particular contest. It is a hard tagged problem, but I will say it is hard actually, but yeah, not much hard as related to how other problems came. Like for example, in the yesterday's contest, the weekly contest, bi-weekly contest, it was a very hard problem, the fourth one. I saw that only 24 people around the world were able to solve it. Actually, I also attended that contest and I was able to solve that problem in order of n to the power 4 time complexity, and the right approach was n cube. I was not able to actually optimize it to n cube. Still I am just n cube, n to the power 4 is what I can do. I will try to optimize it. But yeah, in the last problem I got some 400 around rank, and probably I will reach guardian. So I actually don't give this Leetcode contest much because of the morning time and all. Otherwise I must have reached guardian. But yeah, probably because of yesterday contest I must will reach guardian probably. Um, yeah, the ratings are not updated for this actually. Um, we will see when will be updated for the last contest. It is not updated till. No worries, okay. ठीक है बढ़िया. So let's have the last question. Last question says that ki you are given two positive integers array and you have to make them equal. So for making them equal, what you can do in the nums array, you can choose a sub array and you have to increase the value by 1 or decrease the value by 1. So this is what you can do, right? And by doing this, you have to make them equal and you have to find the minimum number of operations required to make nums equal to target. ठीक है. अब कैसे करेंगे? How we can do it? So how we can actually do it is, for example, we have these both the arrays, right? We have these both the arrays. Okay. I will actually give you some, I will maybe explain my code also side by side. It will be better to understand. Okay. अब देखो आप बात समझना मेरी. For example, we are having the current number. Understand here. Okay. Okay. Let me first explain you how we can solve this problem. So for example, in this case, I will first choose this particular part and I will increase it by 1. So it will become 4, it will become 6. Then I will take this part, increase by 1, it will become this. Then I will take maybe this part and it will become this, right? So eventually we are taking, I think, 3 operations to make for this. Okay, 5 operations. Okay, no, 2 operations. How 2 operations? I have to see. Acha, we have to have 2 operations. Na? How? See. So first I will take this whole array. Na? So it will become 4, 6, 2 and 3. And then I will take just 1. Okay. This is how in just 2 operations we can do it. Okay. But eventually if you will see, eventually if you will find the difference ना, if you will find the difference, जैसे कि अगर हम करते तो क्या करते हैं, आप देखते हैं भाई यहाँ पे डिफरेंस 1 है between them. Okay, here difference is also 1, here difference is also 1, here difference is 2. तो eventually you will see कि okay, here difference is 1 1 1, तो इसको हम एक बार में कर लेंगे, and then this is a separate difference 2. तो eventually it looks like a 3 operations, right? But what we can do, we know that there are two differences are there, and already in the previous we have one difference, so we can actually combine them now with the previous. So with this one difference I can increase this also, and the remaining one I can take separately instead of two separately, right? तो वो हम कैसे करेंगे? तो आई विल फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल टेक अ बेटर टेस्ट केस, लिटिल बेटर वन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल बीच में एक डिक्रीज का भी ले लेते हैं. तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस इज 9 and in the target I will take 7. Okay, so here you can see we have to decrease, ठीक है. अब देखो what we are doing. अब first of all what we are doing is we are finding the difference, the current difference, and guys I will also store the previous difference कि जो previous number था उनमें क्या difference था, because on the basis of that also I will make my changes. I will tell you how. So for example, initially I will take my previous difference as 0. Initially I will take my previous difference as 0, and currently we are at the first index, like the 0 index. Okay, we are here. And now the current difference that you can see here is basically nums minus target I am doing. So it will be -2, -1, 3 minus 4. Okay. Now see guys, the thing is that if your current difference is positive, previous is negative, or if your current is negative, previous is positive, means there is a opposite difference. कि पहले हम जो previous difference था वहां पे हम पक्का कुछ इंक्रीमेंट या डिक्रीमेंट कर रहे थे, बट इस वाले में हम लोग उल्टा कर रहे हैं. So what does it mean? If the sign of the previous is different, if the sign of the current is different, that means in the previous we must be doing either increment or decrement, and in this case we are doing different. तो अगर ऐसा है तो simply in your answer the absolute of current will be added, so 1 will be added कि भाई यहाँ पे हमको एक इंक्रीमेंट करना पड़ेगा. What will happen here? We have to do one increment, right? Like this I will say +1. Now I will go to next case. Okay, next case. Up for next case, this current will again become -1. Previous will become -1 and current will be now. So now here current will again become -1. Up you can see that the sign of the previous and current is same, means previous will be also we were doing increment. Negative means कि increment कर रहे थे, right? So previous also was negative and current also is negative, means sign of both previous and current is same. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे देखो अब sign same है. अब when sign is same, then I have to do one more thing. When the sign is same, then I have to see one thing. One thing is that कि previous में कितना था वो sign और अभी कितना है. For example, let's say कि यहाँ पे हम previous में 1 का डिक्रीमेंट कर रहे थे और यहाँ भी 1 का कर रहे हैं. तो if sign is same, मीन्स साइन भी सेम है और वैल्यू भी सेम है, दैट मीन्स कि ये जो पार्ट है ना ये इसके साथ में ही आ सकता है. नो नीड टू टेक इट सेपरेटली, नो नीड टू टेक इट सेपरेटली, राइट. एंड वन मोर थिंग दैट लेट्स से दैट इन प्रीवियस मान लो यहाँ पे होता 5, यहाँ पे अगर 5 होता तो क्या होता कि प्रीवियस मस्ट बी -2, प्रीवियस मस्ट बी -2, एंड आंसर भी 2 हो जाता कि हमें प्रीवियस में 2 बार इंक्रीमेंट करना है, +2 करना है, राइट. बट इफ नेक्स्ट कम्स एज +1 लाइक -1, तो यहां भी क्या कर रहा हूं कि जो प्रीवियस है वो बड़ा है करंट से, प्रीवियस इज ग्रेटर देन करंट. यहां पे तो +1 ही करना है, यहां पे +2 करना था. तो स्टिल इन दिस केस वी कैन हैव द प्रीवियस, क्योंकि हम क्या करते हैं फिर अभी में 2 ही ऑपरेशन लगते हैं, हम पहले इन दोनों को कर लेते फिर उसको सिंगल कर लेते. वी विल फर्स्ट डू दीज बोथ, देन आई विल डू दिस सिंगल. तो स्टिल तो केस क्या होगा कि अगर 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 हमारा एब्सोल्यूट ऑफ करंट एब्सोल्यूट ऑफ प्रीवियस से छोटा है, सॉरी मतलब ऐसे कर लेते हैं. So if my absolute of current is actually less than equal to the absolute of previous, then it will be no point will be added in the answer because no extra operations are needed. When the sign is also same and the value is also lesser, तो previous वाले में ही cover हो जाएगा. But if the current value is greater, for example, if I will go everything back like this, so what will happen? कि लेट्स से यहाँ पे तो -1 था, बट यहाँ पर इन द करंट केस इट्स हैविंग -2, लेट्स से कि प्रीवियस में तो ओनली +1 वाज रिक्वायर्ड, बट यहाँ पर +2 इज रिक्वायर्ड, डिफरेंस इज -2. इन दिस केस +2 रिक्वायर्ड. अभी भी क्या करेंगे, इट्स नॉट लाइक यू विल सिंपली ऐड +2, नो, इन द ऑपरेशन, बिकॉज प्रीवियसली वी हैव ऑलरेडी डन 1, एक तो पहले हो चुका है ना, हमें अब +2 करना, तो एक तो वहीं से हो सकता है, एक और करना पड़ेगा, तो स्टिल +1 विल बी एडेड, मीन्स डिफरेंस बिटवीन द प्रीवियस एंड करेंट. तो स्टिल हमारे आंसर में प्रीवियस और करंट का डिफरेंस ही ऐड होगा, नॉट बोथ, राइट, नॉट बोथ. So guys, this is how we are solving the problem, and initially we will go on. Let's say we will go here. अब यहाँ पे देखो, यहाँ पे क्या है, यहाँ पे डिक्रीज आ गया, तो our previous was -2, our previous was -2, now current will become 2. So if current will become 2, if means a change in sign happens. So in change in sign happens means कि हम previous से कुछ कर ही नहीं सकते हैं. If change in sign, let's say previous was positive, current is negative, तो हमें simply current को add करना पड़ेगा, because then we cannot combine the previous with the current, right? So guys, this is how we are solving this particular problem. Here also time complexity is order of n, and there is no extra space complexity, right? But it is a good problem. Guys, if you have any doubt regarding the problem that we discussed, please feel free to ask that to me in the comment section, or you can also join our Telegram channel to ask your doubt. Thank you.